Hey everyone, and welcome to San Francisco, specifically the Van Ness BRT, which is the newest bus rapid transit system here in California. Let's check it out. And now we're going to start at the southern part of the Van Ness BRT at Market and Van Ness to take a look at what these stations have to offer. So let's start by looking at what makes this line a bus rapid transit. First are the improved bus stop shelters, which also include a live feed of some service changes along with next bus departure times. There's also obviously some bus lanes and signal priority in the area. This is the 38 Rapid Ghirardelli, which is another busy bus route that connects to the Van Ness corridor, making it a great area for a lot of ridership. And you can see there are quite a lot of people walking around, meaning it's a great place for a bus rapid transit. It's also center running, and the stops are in between the bus lanes and the street. They're separated from the sidewalk. And here's a look at City Hall, which is where this stop is located. The bus rapid transit serves several destinations and connection points, like the Van Ness Muni station on Market, as well as City Hall here, in addition to Ghirardelli Square at the north end of the line. Now, this bus rapid transit is just under 2 miles long, running from Mission Street all the way up to the end of Van Ness Avenue at North Point Street. Now let's talk about how this Van Ness BRT project played a role in connectivity in the region. It's used quite heavily as well, as several muni bus routes, including the 49, run along the center bus lanes, as well as 3 Golden Gate commuter buses that run over the Golden Gate Bridge into parts north of San Francisco. There's also a great connection between this line and several other bus routes such as the 5R and 38R buses. Now, this also wasn't just a bus rapid transit project, it was an entire revitalization project of the region. There was utility replacement as well as pedestrian improvements along the line. Now let's talk about the upbringing of the line itself. Construction started in June of 2016 after the project was converted from rail to BRT in 2003. Now, unfortunately, due to several delays related to COVID as well as others, the project has been delayed till April 1st, 2022, where it opened to the public as the newest bus rapid transit in California. And as of January 2025 and this video's upload, it is still the youngest bus rapid transit system here in California. But not for long, luckily, as cities like Monterey are working on new bus rapid transit systems that are scheduled to open in the next couple of years. And I'll mention more about those later in the video, but now we're going to head to the next stop, Van Ness and Ghirardelli, which is where you can transfer to the 38 and 38 Rapid, which is one of the busiest bus routes in San Francisco. As you can see in the video, there's also plenty of buses running up and down the center BRT lanes, and in my personal experience of riding about 8 of these buses along the line, the buses got quite crowded and remained crowded throughout the 2-mile part of the center running bus lanes, which is great to see that lots of people are benefiting from this new improved bus service. Now let's look at the stations up here as well. Now, in bus rapid transit systems, in general, it's defined by a service that includes faster methods of travel, such as bus rapid transit lanes here, or signal priority in other cases. It also means that there's improved bus stops, and this stop is no exception, just like the other one. There's screens here that display alerts as well as maps, and live tracking of buses, which is helpful to know when the next one will be arriving. There's also an art installation right here, and I'm not sure exactly what it's depicting, but if you know what it is, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Now, this stop is where you can transfer to the 38 and 38 Rapid, which is one of the busiest bus routes in San Francisco. You can see the bus stop over there, which is not too far of a walk from the bus rapid transit stop. And now here's a look at one of those Golden Gate commuter buses that use the Van Ness bus rapid transit to access downtown and the Salesforce Transit Center from the Golden Gate Bridge. In fact, here comes a bus right now. And as you can see, this is definitely an improvement from regular bus service, but it also makes me wonder what it would be like if the actual rail line was built out, such as a light rail, or even an underground subway like as we see in the Central Subway Park. Feel free to let me know down below what you think, if you think you would rather have a light rail line here or the bus rapid transit. Either way though, it's a perfect place for a transit project. Just as you can see here, there is plenty of density, apartments, and other transit-oriented development along the line, including destinations such as City Hall and other important bus connections that I'd mentioned prior. Now let's talk about how effective the line is itself. If the line actually improved in speed, and this was done by Muni and Golden Gate Transit as they tested the bus routes prior to the bus rapid transit line opening. This showed that there's improvements of up to 36% in terms of speed and on-time performance, showing that this does help speed up bus service when separating them from car traffic. And one of the main oppositions to bus rapid transit is the reduction of car lanes. And it looks like Van Ness was reduced in terms of car lanes here, but I'm glad to report that vehicle traffic is still flowing just like it was before. I'm happy to report though that there are not many backups, if any, here on the line so far, besides the few cars that may gather up before a traffic light turns green. And now here's some interesting facts about the line itself. 49, which is the main bus route that runs along the line. It runs about every 10 minutes during the day and runs mostly single buses from what I've noticed, opposed to the rapid buses that you see here that frequently run bendy buses. I really hope that Muni decides to add some articulated buses onto the Route 49, especially during peak times, as I was here on a Sunday. I could imagine the line would be definitely much more busier on a weekday with commuter traffic and those heading to work. Anyways, we are now at the end of the bus lanes, which is at Van Ness and Bay. This is the last stop on Route 49 before the buses head down the street, turn around, and start the route heading south. This is also a part where the Route 28 briefly uses the bus lanes, and this is also a starting point for several other bus routes, including the 30, where half of their buses start their route here and half of them start further west. Now this stop is also where you exit for Ghirardelli Square, and if you're heading to Fisherman's Village, it's also a short walk from here. And now also back to the original articulated bus conversation, Route 30 frequently uses articulated buses alongside its counterparts like Route 8, which also run through downtown and Chinatown. Now I really wish that Muni invested in more articulated buses and got them up and running on Route 49 as well, since I believe a bus rapid transit should have more capacity than these local bus lines, especially as they're stuck in traffic more often, and that Route 49 can help turn over buses quicker, making them more efficient at transporting passengers, if that makes sense. Now this area also is a great viewpoint for looking at the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz. And overall, I think this is a wonderful project for the region, especially the amount of work that Muni has been doing in the past few years with the opening of the Central Subway as well as this bus rapid transit. And with that, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.